Hello there, and a warm welcome to Donington Park for the opening round of the British GT Championship. Well, the competition this year is hot, and there's been a slight change to the race format. As well as the 1 hour sprint races, they've introduced a 2 hour endurance race, which will include a refuelling stop. So the action in this championship is going to be fantastic. The grids should be closed with possibly the widest variety of competitive cars that's been seen in a while. So expect to see plenty of close action with some top quality drivers behind the wheel. Last year's runners-up, Nathan Kinch and Andrew Kirkordy in the Scuderia Ecos Ferrari, were arguably the fastest pairing out there, but struggled with the driver handicap system. That's changed for this year, so can they go one better?
Yeah, the rule changes helped us dramatically. I mean, we were trying to find 20 seconds over 1 hour, which was hard. This year with the rules being equal, it should be easier for us.
For sure, we're all very confident, pumped up to. Obviously, the aim is to win the championship, and we have a very good package. It's good to have continuity in the team, so hopefully we dismiss.
Mike Jordan's Eurotech Porsche struggled with reliability last year, but he's always fast, and with new teammate Michael Kane, could be a contender.
He did a few Porsche Cup races last week. Pete got on very well with the car. I mean, people go on about need to be a 911 specialist to drive them quickly. I think it's a load of rubbish, really. If you can drive, you can drive. And I knew Kane would be absolutely on the money, and he is. I've known him well from TVR Tuscans. We had a fantastic couple of years together there, and I'm sure it'll be a very strong partnership this year.
The TVR lineup is looking strong. Patrick Pearce up with Warren Hughes, and both should be on the pace.
The TVR's got less aerodynamic performance, but it's a fantastic car mechanically. On the brakes, it's fantastic. It's got very good traction, and some circuits are better than others. So it'll be interesting to see how it pans out over the course of the season. But I think we'll certainly for race wins.
Lawrence Tomlinson partners the very quick but underused Johnny Kane, who could be out point this year.
After doing Formula 3, I did a few Formula 3000 races and 2 years of Indy Lights in the States and to the MG. So, I've only raced prototypes until the TVR 2 races in the LMES. At the end of the day, a car's a car. If you can quickly, you can drive anything quickly, really.
Joining Ningham, former ASCAR champion Ben Collins has now become a permanent member of the embassy team.
They've started from scratch with hiring completely new personnel, equipment, the car, the whole lot. That's quite different driving last year, racing in circles, but with, like I say, the odd outing in GTs. And, really, same sort of thing. I've raced at these tracks before, and I've raced in sports prototypes and that kind of thing, so it's a good fun season.
Well, the pre-season favourites of Kirkordy and Nathan Kinch line up in pole position but can they keep that chasing pack behind them? Well, it is a two endurance, only time will tell. Here's Ben.
Thank you, Diana. Well, a storming lap from Andrew Kirkordy put his Ferrari on pole, teammate Chris Niarchos, while the first on the grid is the Team Eurotech being started by Michael Kane. Lawrence Tomlinson's at the wheel of one of the TVRs that he owns. The other one is right behind with Patrick Pearce driving to start with. Ben Collins is in the Embassy Racing Porsche, whilst the fastest qualifier in the GT3 class is the Quaife RPM Porsche of Alex Mortimer and Phil. Cars coming out of the chicane, ready for the rolling start. As the lights go out, it's Andrew Kirkordy from pole position who makes the initial break ahead of his teammate Chris Niarchos. Battling for position behind him, Michael Kane on the inside. But we're riding with Ben Collins, bit of a slide, and past goes Michael Kane. Michael Kane, the Ferrari of Chris Niarchos, into second place, and I think Ben Collins may well have followed him through. Great stuff. Chris Niarchos just getting a bit out of shape through Redgate Corner. I'm with International Sports Car Race Bath Rob. Chris almost got himself into trouble there, didn't he?
Yeah, hi Ben. Chris just struggling, I think, with the weight of the Ferrari, with 100 litres of fuel on the car, just slid at the clipping point, and a good piece of tunistic driving from both Kane and Ben Collins.
So it's Ferrari, Porsche, then Ferrari. The two TVRs just coming through the shot there as well. We're on board here with Julian Westwood. He is leading in the GT3 class. It used to be known as the Cup class this year, but the cars are much the same. And look, he's right behind the Ultima. That's in the GT2 class. It should be more powerful. Well, let's see if it is on the straight. Yeah, it gets from him.
good show immediately left Wood, good strong start, and he's mixing it, like you say, Ben, with the GT2 runners really strongly down the inside of the Corvette into Goddard's.
Yeah, Ricky Cole gets out of the way, and Julian Westwood, great to see him back out in something, very experienced racer and doing well in the GT3 class. The leaders come through. There's Chris Niarchos dropped back a little bit. David Jones following him in the other Team Eurotech car, then Patrick Pearce in the TVR, and they're also going well. Dimitri Taverikos in the number 9 Porsche. He's running well in GT3 after all sorts of problems that team has had with the car all weekend. Just rejoining, in fact, just coming out now is Piers Johnson in the Mosler. They seem to have some sort of clutch problem, so they're obviously well down the order. Great shame for them. And here we are riding on board with Michael Caine in the car. He's sharing with Mike Jordan, and that doesn't look quite right.
No, Caney all over the place coming through. McLean's there, clearly got a problem, and through on goes Collins.
Yeah, so that's dropped him a position, but he's definitely not at full pace. Sort of weaving around. Look, he can't keep it in a straight line, even on the main straight. He's letting cars go past. Surely there's a major problem there. He must be heading for the pit lane. There's the TVR that's just gone past him as well. This is a great disappointment because I know Mike had high hopes for today.
Yeah, Mike was exceptionally pleased with his performance in qualifying to go third on the grid. That really was a good show from them, and he'll be gutted with that performance. On board again with Westwood now, tucked up behind the Ultimate. You see the door flailing. Oh, door coming off, flailing open, coming off completely on the run down into Redgate.
Well, open air ventilation and the Ultimate then. Stephen seeing his door disappear. Hopefully it's not an ejector seat as well. He's still going, he's still holding on to position, but our race leader, Andrew Kukkoli, just look at the lead that he's managed to open up.
Sking away. He's making clean air in front of him, and he's just really held a gap, and the Corvette really getting out of shape on the run into the old hairpin there.
Yeah, Dimitri Taverikos running second in GT3, looking to get past that Corvette. Driving for Tech 9, a team that's had a lot of success in that class in recent years. But Michael Caine in the pits. They're trying to determine what's gone wrong, and they're having a look around the left.
Mike's number 1 guy there, having a good check of the wheel, and in fact it looks like they're doing the wheel nut up, so the wheel could have come loose there, I think.
Back down on the ground. Away goes Michael Caine, so I wonder if they can make up lost ground, but they must have lost about 2 laps as a result of coming into the pits there. Now watch this little battle that's going on as the TVR of Patrick Pearce, the purple and orange car, is trying to get past David Jones. This is the battle for 4th place because we've lost that portion on the grass trying to squeeze through.
Very aggressive move there as he comes up the hill towards McLean's, and you can see the attitude of the TVR. He's pushing really hard to get by that Porsche. He'll be keen to move past that car as quick as possible and crack on with catching the Ferraris, I think.
Yeah, the Chris Niarchos Ferrari is up the road, but I don't know whether he's going to be able to catch that. He's got to get past David Jones first, almost alongside as they come down the main straight, and they're getting up to 145, nearly 150 miles an hour before they get on the brakes down into the chicane. And David Jones has control because he has side lock, but Patrick Pearce does not look as though he's about to give up. He's actually clipping the marker poles there at the chicane. You wouldn't think this was a 2-hour race.
Driving just like a touring car sprint race, Ben. This is great door-to-door battle.
Patrick Pearce again denied into Redgate corner. The car just sliding beautifully on the exit of the bend, and now he's got a chance here because he's drawn alongside David Jones as they go down the Craner curves. It puts him on the outside, but he's kept his foot in and he sweeps round ahead of them, and the TVR is flying.
Mega move there from Patrick. Really stick hard around the outside of the Craner curves, and very simple overtaking manoeuvre into the old hairpin eventually. Fantastic stuff.
So that's to 4th place, but Andrew Kukkoli has a comfortable advantage at the moment in the Ferrari.
.888.com. What's your game? With thousands of cars locally every week, it couldn't be easier to find your perfect partner in Auto Trader.
Saucisson, very cool, and pommes saute, splendid.
It's utterly ravenous.
Passes your rouge, old chap.
It's this season's must-have, darling. It's so yum. You don't have to be
team boss or team owner Lawrence Tomlinson, who's at the wheel, but that car does not look healthy. Right now with Ben Collins, he's running second.
TVR dropping oil on the circuit, Ben. TVR dropping oil on the circuit.
So confirmation from the team. Well, Ben, watch out, it's slippery out there with smoky TVR and there's oil going down from it. Collins in second, Patrick Pearce now in third in that TVR. the other TVR that is, not the smoke. And then Chris Niarchos in fourth ahead of David Jones and Stephen Brady. There is Patrick Pearce. No problems with that car. He's still driving aggressively. He's early on the power, a glide to Redgate, but his teammate's in, his owner is in, and not looking that good for Lawrence Tomlinson and Johnny Kane. Johnny due to take our over. Oh, Minna, that's Piers Johnson that's gone off.
He spun due to problems with the clutch again, Ben. Remember, he started from the pit lane, so I just hope he can keep that car running.
Yes, I do hope Eclipse Motorsport getting that car from Martin Short this weekend. Tomlins and Diana's with his teammate.
Johnny, what happened with the car?
We've got some sort of oil leak, but it looks pretty terminal, I think. Bit disappointing. We qualified well, and we're looking for a top 6 finish for the first race to set us up for the rest of the year. But Pat's having a really good run now. He's up behind Ben and pushing him pretty hard. So hopefully the second car will get a good result.
Collins definitely coming under severe pressure now from Patrick Pearce. And that TVR, which has looked so in these early laps, is still going for it. Look again, he's on the grass, just clipping the grass. Oh, he's turning into McLean's, but he doesn't lift off. He's still going for it. Now look, he's going to have a little look up the inside into Coppice Corner, sliding away. There's contact between them.
Oh, I just got banged out of the way by the TVR, so I guess I better let him go. No, man, let him go.
Well, Patrick Pearce is certainly hard here this weekend, Rob.
Yeah, no messing around with Patrick. He clatters the black and white marker post at the chicane again, and as Ben said, he just muscled him out of the way.
Yeah, good hard racing, but that's what we like to see. Andrew Kokori is the leader in car number 35. There he is, picking his way through the traffic past these GT3 cars, and he's opened up a huge advantage in these early stages. Second place now, as we've seen, is that TVR. And here's the battle in GT3. It is Julian Westwood in the all-black car with Dimitri Deverikos right behind him in the black and silver Porsche. Similar cars, of course, and Julian making a return to competitive racing. Good to see him back, and actually he's passed by Deverikos. But look at all these Porsches now. That's David, the GT2 car, the faster car, Nipper as well.
Oh, 4 cars, the tail air as they come through onto the pit straight. It was a wonder that, Westwood indicating something to his team, Ben. I think he may have a problem.
Yes, quite possibly. He did seem to be passed quite comfortably. There's the new Nissan 350Z just going past him. Brand new introduction to the British GT Championship this year. Ali McKeever at the wheel at the moment. And the team getting this car ready in short measure, so still learning a lot as they head down through the Craner curves. And oh, it's gone sideways ahead of us. It's in trouble. Can he get it straight? No! He's off. He's on the grass. Into the gravel. Oh dear. What a disappointment for Ali McKeever, doing a fantastic job with that new car. Well, I'm afraid to say it's all over.
He was so lucky not to roll in the gravel. You see, the back end just got away from him. Yours, mine, yours, and off on grass. And he hits the gravel going so quickly sideways. And as I said, he was really lucky not to roll, but they'll prepare the car and he'll be back to fight another day.
The Scuderia Cost team getting ready for pit here. It's a long race, 2 hours long, refueling required. Niarchos in the chicane. Oh, he's lost it. He's lost it right in front of a bunch of... Thankfully, they've avoided him. Hopefully, he can rejoin without too many places. And in comes Collins. He's got problems.
It's pit speed. All 4 tyres.
Well, that car has been misfiring round the lap, but he's got it back into the pits, and it sounds like they're going to change all tyres. Neil Cunningham gets ready to take over. Also into the pits, here comes Michael Kane to hand over to Mike Jordan.
Michael will be ever so glad at the car. He's feeling really rough this weekend. You can see just on his door there, he's got a packet of throat lozenges taped to the door. So, yeah, he's feeling full.
Neil Cunningham comes back on circuit. Let's hope they've cured the misfire. Mike Jordan's car being refueled, but Diana is with a rather poorly Michael Kane.
How was that session?
We got a great start, and I thought everything was okay. A wheel came loose. I don't know why, and then they just radioed to me just to try and look after the tyres, because now we've got no tyres. So it was just a bit of hard work in the car for me today. But yeah, it was enjoyable, but it's just a shame with the wheel, really.
Another pit stop. This time it's Chris Niarchos hand over to Glenn. Now, it looks as though they're changing the tyres on this car first. They're not allowed to and change tyres at the same time, so they're changing the tyre and then they'll do the refuelling, and Tim Mullen will take over as Neil continues in the Embassy Porsche that seemed to have problems earlier, now seems to be running okay. Right, Tim Mullen ready. Seems to to be a few problems starting the engine. There's his Andrew Kokodi, still leading this race. Chris Niarchos out of this car, he's with Diana.
Chris, how was that session? Obviously, you're looking a little hot.
Yeah, feeling a little hot. The session was great. It's unbelievable. The only problem is I lost both earplugs, fell out of my ears on lap 1. But coming down into the chicane again, I literally had no idea when my pit instructions were going to be or what was happening. So I know it sounds a bit daft, but I was almost trying to push the thing back in my ear so I could hear anything. And literally, I came in under a big cloud of cars, and I just literally had a slide, but it wasn't anything. I don't think we lost much. I think we Fabricans, but you know, Tim's now in the car, and I think he'll love it. With a new set of tires on, it'll be a rocket. So it ain't over until it's over. But I'm happy, really happy.
Another Ferrari on track. This is the E3 version, going very well at the moment. United Christian Broadcasters, Hector Lester and Alan Simonson. And Simon is absolutely flying in this car now. Once he got behind the wheel, no stopping him. Very experienced Dacer, competed all over the world, Australia and Middle East, with some very good results. Fending off that Corvette pretty handily at the moment.
Again, a battle between two cars in different classes, Ben, which we really didn't expect.
No, that's right. Seems to have the pace, though, doesn't he? Up the hill he comes to McLean's corner, smooth on the power. That engine sounds great, doesn't it? Nothing quite like a Ferrari engine for noise.
Yeah, it's a really high rate the Ferraris have got in the 360. It does sound good, and into the pits comes our race leader.
So Andrew needs to hand over to Nate. He's built a very, very comfortable lead. And remember, these two guys won 6 races last year. They didn't quite win the championship, but they do go in as favourites for this season. There's the second place car. It's Patrick Pearce at the wheel, but he'll be handing over shortly to Warren Hughes. Andrew Kokodi out of the car, Nathan getting ready to rejoin the fray. And Patrick Pearce, now I think he will be coming in this lap. Warren Hughes is definitely ready to take over. Yet, here he comes, heading into the pits. We saw problems for the other car, but this one's running very sweetly. Out goes Nathan Kinch, in comes Patrick Pearce, and Warren Hughes will now take over.
Yeah, excellent run we've seen there from Patrick Pearce today. He surprised a lot of people with his pace. He really has been pushing hard. It's been very good to see. Tim now on the back of Neil Cunningham in the Porsche.
Yeah, this is the battle for third place between the blue and red Porsche. We're riding on board with it now, and the experienced Kiwi, and it's Neil Cunningham who gets past. In fact, he gets passed by Tim Mullen. So the other Ferrari has now moved up to third place. As we see Patrick Pearce there out of his TV, having handed over to Warren, looking well pleased with himself, as he has every right to be. Down the hill with Alan Simonson, still leading in the GT3 class. Got a car just there, and coming past him is Mike Jordan. No, he runs into the back of him. My goodness.
Oh, I almost nearly share there, Ben. Mike clearly went on a little bit too quick, had to jump on the brakes mid-corner, and Simonson did really well not to take both of them off there.
Done some bodywork damage to that rear wheel arch and the bumper, but actually I think they've got away with it apart from that little bit of damage on the front of the Ferrari. Mike Jordan still pushing very hard, chased by Warren Hughes. And of course, they're not battling for position because Mike Jordan lost so much time in the other race when Michael Caine was driving and they had that loose wheel. But still, they're racing quite ahead of Alan Simonson here. Down towards the chicane they come, and Warren Hughes looking for a way of getting past the Team Eurotech Porsche. Back on board with Alan Simonson. He's leading in the GT3, but he's being caught. The black and silver Tech 9 Porsche being driven by Piers Maserati, definitely getting a bit closer. And there's the damage to the front of the Ferrari. Let's take a look back at how that happened just a moment ago when he ran into the back of Mike Jordan.
So Mike Jordan's coming down the inside now, comes into the corner a bit hot. Oh, gets on the brakes, and bang, the moment of impact happens right on the exit. All I can think is Mike Jordan's tyres are now way past the best. He's chosen to do the whole race without changing tyres, and that may have just caught him out slightly.
Well, as you say, they were quite fortunate to get away with that, but they did get away with it. Now Simonson still got the problem of trying to defend Porsche immediately behind of Piers Maserati. But in fact, here comes the Porsche. I think, yes, he's coming past on the outside. So Piers Maserati goes the lead of the GT3 class. And after suffering lots of oil leak problems that the team couldn't quite solve early in the weekend, it's fantastic to see the Tech 9 Porsche actually going so well now.
Phil crew have done a really good job to get that car prepared. Fire in the tech earlier in the week, and that Neil Cunningham, he's made an unscheduled pit stop.
Yeah, they seem to have more misfire problems with the desperately trying to solve an all-new team here, although Embassy Racing must... Oh, more problems! Look at this, all over the place, a wheel coming off, that's Steve Warburton. and he's in big trouble. Can he solve it? Can he sort it before he hits something hard? I think he managed to, just about. Scuderia Cost team seeing that happen virtually opposite their pit wall there, but they're still in control of this race. Nathan Kinch at the wheel. He's now on to the final lap. He's got a very comfortable lead over Warren Hughes in the TVR, running in second place, and his own teammate Tim Mullen, who's now running third. Steve Warburton getting out of his Porsche, but that looked pretty scary, Rob.
Absolutely, some sort of mechanical failure from the Porsche. Steve did a great job to keep it out of the pit wall.
Second place TVR going through, Warren Hughes at the wheel, but it's the final corner for the number 35 Ferrari. The Scuderia Ecosse team has come to Donington and won the opening round of the British Champ very comfortably. A great performance by both drivers, and the other car coming home in third place. That's pretty good news for the team. But at the end of the day, the two Ferraris were split by the TVR of Warren Hughes and Patrick Pearce. The Jones brothers finished in fourth place, and Mike Jordan recovered to finish in fifth. The GT3 class was won by Piers Maserati and Dimitri Dos.
It was a long race, and we only did hours last year, and we weren't really sure what was going to happen into our race, but it performed for us great.
So breathing a sigh of relief?
Yeah, a little bit. Although it's a 3 hour next time, so it might even be harder, so we'll see.
It's always daunting the first round, but it's good to get a result like this, points on the board.
The team have done a mega job, and Bryce Dimitri did a good job. I managed to pass Simonson for the Linda, then we just controlled it.
So Kinch and Concuddy have the early advantage, but there's an awfully long way to go, and some top teams will be out to beat them as we go through the season. The GT3 class, Piers Maserati and Dimitri Dverikos have the advantage over Chris Baton and John Finnemore. It's a very wide open category for 2005.
Well, a fantastic day for Andrew Kirkcaldy and Nathan Kinch. They've really made their mark in the British GT Championship. They came in as favourites, and they've taken the first round here at Donington Park. We hope you enjoyed all of the action. Join us next time when we'll be at Croft. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Knocks and bumps at the challenging race circuit at Thruxton next. British Superbikes are on the move.